Hey y'all, welcome to another quick segment of I'm Just Saying. Something popped into my spirit just a few moments ago and I figured why wait, just to go ahead and get it out before I get distracted with other things and forget. And that is simply how a wilderness season, and for those who are unfamiliar with, I guess, the symbolism of a wilderness or what have you, it's a wilderness is an unfamiliar territory, and one that's not been made to make you feel comfortable, but one that is uncultivated. It is uncharted. You've never been there before, and it is to pretty much show you what you've made of. I guess if I could equate it to a TV show today, it would be something like a Survivor or something like that, where the luxuries that you have been used to have been stripped from you and you are made to survive without what you've known, and things are just, they're not normal. And equating it to today, during the pandemic, and even some areas of our lives, I know that I've gone through a season of a very jarring wilderness, and I just felt like, wow, what in the world is this? This is like nothing that I've ever seen before. This place does not feel normal. The way that you are teaching me, when I say you, I'm talking about God, the way that you are teaching me to navigate through this wilderness, it's like you're having to reteach me, or it's like you're having to teach me things that I should already know. I mean, this stuff is very simple, however, it feels so hard. And at this time where so many people have lost their normal, it is also a time where God is speaking very loudly, and people are forced to acknowledge and to become obedient and to get into alignment with the truth that God is. He's showing that He is bigger than government. He is bigger than logic. He is bigger than, sorry, my son bumped the camera. He is bigger than the goods and services that we have been used to. And He is our source. And we better wise up to acknowledge that and to ask Him what His agenda is before we try to create our own and pitch it to Him to get His okay on it. And so I hope that wasn't a bunch of gibberish, but my pastor preached this morning on Facebook Live, Living Waters Ministries, y'all, here in Baltimore, Maryland, Towson, Maryland. He preached on Facebook Live from the book of Exodus chapter 16. And my husband and I, right before service, we were actually talking about that, and we found ourselves in Exodus chapter 16, and it was where the prophet Moses was leading the children of Israel in the wilderness. God had delivered them from the slavery of Egypt, and He was taking them through that wilderness to reteach, to revolutionize the way that they did things. And they began to complain about not having the food that they were used to. So God showed them that He's a provider, and He showed them that He could cause bread to rain down from heaven. He could cause quail to be available for them to eat. And He gave them very specific instructions regarding what to do with that, how much to gather, and those kind of ramifications. And the simple test was obedience. So what I'm saying is, in a wilderness, obey, learn the lesson, pass the test, and move on. Because God is wants to equip us with what we need to help somebody else. And it's so strange. There's like this strange peace that once you learn to trust God in the wilderness, that He gives you the ability to win. See, like all this running back and forth behind me, even though he's trying not to be loud, but He gives you the ability to, when everything else is moving around you and when there's chaos in your environment, He gives you the ability to stay harnessed in His inner peace. Now that might come after our inner environment has been turbulent and he has calmed the waters within us. But once he shows us that he can do that within us, and he speaks to our inward parts, and we believe that with our heart, and we keep rehearsing it with our mind, then he can use our hands and our feet to go and share what we've learned inwardly with somebody else. That's amazing. And the thing is, we don't have to draft up our own strategy. We just got to ask God for it. Like a child, childlike faith. Jesus told the people, the disciples, don't push those little kids away. Let them come closer to me. And look at them as examples of how you're supposed to be with me. I'm just saying.